All right, I got my motorcycle home. Just bought it. It is a Suzuki Intimidator, Intruder. Pretty much the same thing. Anyway, so I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna make it into a cafe racer. It's a cruiser right now, very much so. So it's gonna be quite the process, but I think it'll be fun. All right, so next step, I've cut everything off. All the wiring harness came off, everything except like the main frame, engine, and wheels. So what I'm gonna do next is shorten the forks. I'm gonna stick the tank on here, and I'm gonna get the tank where I want it, which is flat. I want it pretty much perfectly flat, okay? And then I'm gonna actually take the angle of the tank and continue that angle back with a little lip here. But for now, rebuild the forks and get the tank mounted. So the way I'm going to be shortening these forks, behind the spacer washer that just fell down in this spring is this piece, okay? This piece has a little spring on it, and the purpose of this piece, it compresses and then it comes back up. This stops it from slamming back up into the top, and it cushions it a little bit with this spring right here. So all we're gonna do is put a little piece of pipe right there. That will prevent this from coming up as far when it comes up. So essentially, I'm just lowering the fork an inch by doing this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and keep the spring. I'm not gonna cut it. The suspension will be a little bit stiffer, but that's okay. I'd rather it be stiff than bottoming out. So I got the rear of the frame kind of rebuilt. You can see right here, it's a lot different than it used to be. It used to slowly slant down, and like it was right here going down like that. So I put a lot more room in it and then a tighter bend right here. But what that did was it raised the back part of this frame, which leveled it off more, and now you can see the tank is a lot more flat instead of at an angle how it was. I have to mount the battery somewhere because the battery used to be mounted right here under the frame, under the swing arm, I mean, and it just looked really bad. I didn't like it at all. So I want to mount it under the tank, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. But you can see here, the tank is really close to the battery, but I think the battery will have just enough room to sneak under there. The only problem is it's gonna be sticking out the bottom a little bit. now I'm gonna actually try to start making the subframe and the suspension, because I'm putting a mono shock on this. I'm not doing the 2 shocks in the back anymore. So I was gonna bend the pipe with this, but this is the 1-inch pipe bender, but you can see the radius. It's like super wide, and I needed to bend it in 180 degrees, and you can see that's way too wide for the frame. So I needed it tighter than that. So I ended up just grinding a bunch of lines like you saw, and then welding those lines after I bent it in. So it is now just how I want it. I just have to grind it down now. And that is the end of part 1. We got the subframe in place. So in the next video, I'll be doing handlebars. I'll be doing wiring, the suspension, mounting of the battery, the fuel pump, and a few other things. But hopefully it'll only be one more video until this is all done. But it is going to be a lot of work, so I'm not so sure that's going to happen. It might turn into 2 videos. But regardless of what happens, I will make sure you guys get to see all of it. So, till next time.